Here's a very, very warm welcome once again to Abigail, Bernice, Chantil, Rahama. I could see all of you have joined right on time. And so I'm very, very excited to do this and very excited to engage with you and make the next 1 hour to 1.5 hours something meaningful, something profound for you in your personal life as a woman. With dreams, with passion, and perhaps what stage you are at right now in your life, you just need a little bit more clarity. So I'm very excited to embark on this new initiative. You might know already, I am the founder and CEO of Women Empowered Global. And we are a global movement of award-winning women from around the world. We're present in 8 countries. I have currently 22 award-winning global partners who are engaged with me to develop knowledge tools that will help women enhance their skills and achieve their leadership goals more efficiently and effectively. So with regards to this particular program that we conceptualized, the African Women Leadership Forum, that is a very, very important forum and vision in my agenda. It's something that I'm very passionate about, and it is definitely a long-term sustainable platform. And this would be the inaugural session. So yes, you are among the lucky few who are actually enrolled into our very first session of this forum. And this session will run once every month. And I'm going to try to make it as engaging as possible. And there's so much more we can take off after this. There's going to be more follow-up, more continuation. I will introduce you to an array of so many other ways we can help you as well. Does that sound good to everybody? Okay, so okay, brilliant. Okay, so I'm just going to share with you my screen. I hope you all received the workbook. Has everybody opened the workbook? Do you have it with you? I prepared a document for you. So this is what the workbook looks like. Let me share it with you. All right. So does everybody have this? Can everybody see this? Okay, so this is what I shared with you. And throughout today's session with me, I really want you to take heart into paying attention to this page, which talks about, you know, what we as women really go through, because we multitask in our life, in our ambition, our careers, we have aspirations, but there's something that holds us back. So pay attention to these 2 pages, and once you've read it, we are going to kick off and we are going to go through these areas, defining and understanding personal leadership. Like I said, that's step 1. That is the foundation of your house. Depending on how strong and solid your foundation is, that is when you can build your tower high. If your foundation is small, if your foundation is weak, it's like a building, it's like a house. The smaller it is and the weaker it is, the ingredients you put into it, if that is weak and not big, then you cannot aim high. So if you want to aim high in your life and have a tall tower for yourself, then you need to have a wide foundation and a solid one. So setting that context in place, we move on. So let me ask you, when you talk about personal leadership, what comes to your mind? Personal leadership, how do you perceive it? What is personal leadership to you, Abigail? Rahama, what is personal leadership? Chantil, what is this personal leadership? Any thoughts on that? Personal leadership. So what does it suggest? What does personal leadership suggest? When I say personal leadership, what comes to your mind? Basically, when you talk about the subject of personal leadership, what it really entails is about being as complex as I am, being as unique as I am, really knowing what I'm all about, understanding my strengths, not only my strengths, but being aware of my limitations. Now, let's hold that thought right there. I'm going to park that thought for now. Yes, Chantil, very well said. It's being able to lead. You're absolutely right. Being able to lead, starting from myself. That is a step. One of the key characteristics of a strong leader is that in the height of difficulty, in the height of environmental challenges, you will always find an effective leader is still very calm, very cool, very focused, very objective. A leader who knows how to handle and command oneself first before the team is a leader who can direct the team. So with that mindset, I'd like you to start taking down notes on your workbooks. In the next slide, we're going to explore the 3 key fundamental steps to really developing your personal leader. Are you ready? Okay, so moving on to the next slide. Now, I want you to have a look at this right here. So these are the key components of personal leadership. One is self-awareness. Second, your level of attitude and motivation. And number 3, once you have a fair understanding of your strengths and your limitations, coming up with an idea or some sort of solution and applying that solution, identifying the problem and applying a solution to overcome that problem are completely on different scales of the spectrum. I hope you can see that and understand that concept. It's not the same thing. A lot of the times we walk around in our life being able to really understand what the problem is, or we might even jump to a quick fix solution, but not really being able to verify first whether the solution we have is compatible with the actual problem we have. Have we really thought about it in that perspective? So let's start with step 1, self-awareness. What does step 1 talk about? It's about who am I as a person? What are my key qualities that I keep bringing into a project? What is the type of personality or skills in me that I possess that are relevant for the current goals I have set out for my business? What kind of attributes do I have? What is my personal image? How do I groom myself? Where am I currently in my level of confidence? Where am I currently in my awareness on society? And when it comes to my courtesy, my etiquette, my social etiquette, where am I in terms of that? What is my level of social awareness I have with my environment, the people I work with? To what degree do I have that knowledge? Then that's with regards to yourself. Then with regards to your knowledge itself, that's another area. To what level am I comfortable with my knowledge? I'm not only talking about education. I'm talking about just your competence and your confidence on the area that you are specializing in. So having that level of self-awareness. And step 2, once you have this level of self-awareness, the pluses and the minuses, so to speak, that only then can you move into step 2. So this is what I mean by step 2. Step 2 is a very important step, because if we don't have the positive attitude, when we come into step 1 without a positive attitude, guess what happens? We're going to feel negative. We're going to feel we're not good enough. We're going to feel we don't have what it takes. We're going to focus only on the limitations. But the minute we start having a positive attitude, a positive mindset, that's when we tell ourselves, all right, these are my strengths in step 1, and I am going to do everything I can to make it even better, take it to the next level. And then in step 1, you say, these are my weaknesses, but you know what? I'm going to improve it. This is not the end for me. But awareness is so, so important, because a lot of the times, if you don't have the right mindset, the growth mindset or the positive attitude, you will look at your limitations and you will become very defensive. Well, there are many people who respond that way, and you would be amazed. I have trained thousands of people around the world, both men and women, and I will tell you, the first reaction when you sort of give somebody feedback about an area that you'd like them to improve, the first reaction tends to be, oh no, but I'm not really that. I'm something else. So I'm better than that. Or I don't know what you're talking about. The defensive sort of situation, the defense comes forward. Does that resonate with you? Yes? So we need to watch out for that. So that is why step 2 is so important, because step 2 is where, once you have identified your limitations, step 2 is that key step that's going to make sure that you consistently, sustainably keep going, keep going, keep going. Whenever you have a hurdle, whenever you have another self-discovery, good or bad, you keep pushing through and you keep climbing higher. That is how vital positive attitude is for your growth. I love how Albert Einstein put it. He said, it is only when you have a positive attitude can you get a positive result. If you have a negative attitude, you will always get a negative result. So with that said, now we have covered step 1, we've covered step 2, and now we are going to move into step 3. Now this is where you might ask me, Sunila, why now step 3 doesn't sound that fancy? I get it, it's straightforward, it's just application. Well, it's not that easy. If you ask me, what is one of the key characteristics of a strong leader? Do you know what that is? Can somebody tell me from the floor? One of the key characteristics of a strong leader. You might tell me it's confidence. You might tell me it's positive attitude. You might tell me it's good education. You might tell me it's the level of experience the person has. Those are some of the answers you might tell me. Is that correct? Well, what if I tell you one of the key ingredients for a strong leader is consistency? In fact, I have mentioned it here under step 3. It's being mindful, it's being consistent, and it's being passionate. A lot of us, we carry out our day, we come up with this big picture plan, and we get so excited at the start of the project, at the start of our career, at the beginning stage of our business, whatever that business is, whether it's garments, retail, trade, you name it, agriculture, whatever it is. We're so passionate and we invest so much of our energy, attention, and time. But then what a lot of, more than 80% of entrepreneurs around the world statistically fail to celebrate their second birthday. Why? Because they couldn't sustain the business past the first year, past the first birthday, because they stopped thinking of new strategies and ways to grow the business from phase 1 to the next phase. So we will be exploring more on business mentoring and that sort of aspect. We can do that offline after this session. We can even, have a more in-depth session on that specifically for the entrepreneurs at our next session. But at this session, it's all about you. It's first about you. So coming back to step 3, it's about, once you identify and have your awareness on your strengths and your weaknesses in step 1, then you run it through having a positive attitude towards being motivated for achieving that change, and you fix your mind on that goal, on improving on those areas. And then we shift into step 3. Step 3 is all about taking that blueprint, and then this is where you draw a proper operational plan, a detailed plan. Step 1, step 2, step 3. This is what I got to do to take from where I am right now to take myself up there where I want to be, where I need to go. So the three key characteristics I've highlighted here is being mindful. Very important. What do I mean by being mindful? What I mean by being mindful is paying attention to the details, generating enthusiasm when you feel like you're too tired to work some more, generating that passion to sustain your energy and not give up midway, generating the willingness to continue to have that business relationship with your team member who has disappointed you, um, at a personal level. But if you feel that team member is still advantageous or beneficial to the project, then you need to be more objective. But being objective, especially when you have a conflict with somebody, a team member or a colleague or somebody in your home environment, it's very easy to avoid, or it's very easy to shut down, especially as women. But being mindful is all about, even though my environment, even though the people that I interact with are not with me at the same level, do not get me at the same level, it's still generating that perseverance from inside of yourself so that the project doesn't suffer, so that your business doesn't suffer. So that is what it means to be mindful. It's a conscious, ongoing effort every day, every moment of your important, significant life, where you put into the decision, where you say, even though I cannot seek that energy from outside, I can definitely seek it mindfully from within myself. Why am I saying that that is one of the top attributes for a strong leader? Consistency is, I'm too tired to get out of bed to go to work. I don't have enough of financial resources to continue my business. I had a fight with my spouse. I had a fight with my boyfriend. My mother is angry with me. I have nobody to take care of my child. I don't have a capital investor to take my business to the next phase. So these are very, very real challenges that as entrepreneurs we face. Uh, and I'm 100% sure you would agree with this, because these are universal challenges that as entrepreneurs we face. But here's the thing, consistency is that key quality that reminds you every day that regardless of your challenges, regardless of how your relationships at home are doing, regardless of your environment, regardless of your limitations, you still have a business to run. You still have a dream to achieve. You still have mouths to feed, people to inspire. You still have communities that rely on you. So consistency is the concept of telling yourself, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a leader, I don't give up, regardless of my situation, regardless of what happens, regardless if I have rainy weather on that day, I generate sunshine, business has to go on as usual. That is what a leader has to possess that level of consistency. I am a leader yesterday, I'm a leader today, I have a failure today, but guess what? I am still a leader tomorrow. I am still a leader tomorrow. This is huge right here. What if I tell you, statistically it is proven that women tend to be way more self-critical than men. We are so self-critical. We are our biggest enemies. I would like you to, from today, start paying attention to the voice inside of your head. And I'd really like you to maybe open up a little journal and sort of start writing in that the number of times you say something positive and negative to yourself. And you would be amazed throughout your day, if you have this logbook you maintain, the number of times you say something positive to yourself will be less than the number of times you say something negative to yourself. I'm not saying it's anyone's fault or your fault, because life is nature versus nurture. Innately we're women, we tend to be more self-critical. We have a broad attention to detail. All of that is well and good, but it's also what we nurture within ourselves. Success is gender neutral. Success is colorblind. if we are passionate about success, we first have to believe in success. And that's not enough. It's also about believing that you are worthy of success, that you are success, that you can become success. It is something that you generate every day. It is achievable. So that is the type of consistency that I want you to practice going forward after our time together today. It is being passionate. Being passionate. Passion as a leader. So basically, when I think of passion, I think about what drives me. Passion is what makes me wake up in the morning and put a smile on my face. Passion is what reminds me that everything is going to be okay, because I have something to live for that is bigger than just little me, just myself. Passion is the hope that what I'm working towards and living for, something that is of higher purpose, where I am going to make an impact for people around me that is even above me, that I could be used as a vessel, as an engine to create and birth something so beautiful and something so big that it is going to achieve not only my own desire, but it's going to leave a lasting impression and benefit to those even around me. Passion is the fire that is burning inside my belly. Passion is that powerful voice that keeps telling me inside my mind, speaking to my heart, making my heart burn and beat every day. That is passion. I love what Abigail has said. Passion is what I like to do and interact with every day. Wow, I love that. Passion is what I like to do and interact with every day. Passion is not something you write in a piece of paper in your diary and you keep it in your closet somewhere. That is not passion. Passion is not about just identifying some big crazy goal in your life and then keeping it somewhere. No, passion is not wallpaper. I'd like to also read what Bernice has said, that inner fire within that drives you towards something you want that only you understand. Oh wow, Bernice, I'm getting goosebumps right now. This is amazing. That is very, very, very well said. So picking on that point, that inner fire that only you feel, that only you see has already manifested in the future, that others around you have not yet seen, because your passion, the results your passion is going to produce, only you see the future of that, nobody else. This is why we need consistency, because when the world around us gets impatient because they cannot see the manifestation of our passion, the results of our passion yet, because it's still in the future, we need to be consistent and we need to continue to believe in our dream, in our vision. Now, can you see the relationship between having consistency and passion? And you cannot balance these two without having mindfulness in that mix. Do you see the connection here now? Because a lot of the times as entrepreneurs, we have the dream, we have the plans, we have the vision. And it's a part of leadership where we enable everybody else around us to have a shared vision, to see what we see, to breathe what we breathe, to see what we see and experience and touch how we touch our dream, our vision, because it's close to us. So moving on, I'd love to take this a little deeper because we have gone pretty deep into the topic of personal leadership. I want to tell you that end of the day, all of these attributes I spoke about are well and good. But how you come across what you project end of day is how well you communicate your passion, how well you communicate your consistency as a leader. It's how well you communicate that you are mindful. You are a leader of ethics. You're a leader with values. You are a leader that serves a higher purpose. You are committed. You are focused. You're professional. So it's also how you communicate. So 80% of your job description is really communication. Success is something you attract by the person you become. Wow, I love that. I love that philosophy. I love that slogan. Success is something you attract by the person you become. I want you to just sit back in your chair and I want you to just really meditate on this concept. I want you to chant to yourself with me. Could you do that for me? You willing to do that? Yes? I want you to chant with me. Success is something I attract by the person I become.